bike and run. In the corner sun, we're gonna swim, bike and run. In the corner sun, breakfast with Bob.
Let's see if I can get towards the podium. Was that going through your head?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the first couple of miles I was very negative, very like, oh, I suck, you know, like all of those,
I suck.
I suck. You know, what
You
was I
heard it
doing
here
out
first,
there
yeah.
on the bike? And then you switch it around, and my goal became, okay, well, I've got nothing else to do today. I'm in great shape.
I don't have a tea
might as
time
well,
anytime soon.
I might as well, you know, put together my best marathon or, you know,
Yeah.
thereabouts. And, you know, my first goal was to get in the top 5,
Right.
which I was able to do pretty
Pretty quickly, yeah.
Well, not pretty quickly. It took me about half a marathon.
Did it really take
but,
Yeah.
But when I got to top 5, it was actually, you know, 3rd, 4th, and 5th I passed
Right there,
together.
yes.
So top 5 was basically 3rd place.
Yes.
And so then all of a sudden I'm positive. And I'm like, I'm in 3rd place. I was 14 minutes down. I'm back on the podium. I'm still feeling good. And then, you know, still wasn't thinking about trying to win the race. I was
Right.
just trying to think about holding it together, being smart, pacing correctly, eating well, fueling. And then Rachel started to get closer, and
Yeah.
then of course Daniela in the end. But yeah, I mean, that it just goes to show you that you're never out of it. I mean, you could have terrible moments in the race, things can go wrong, but you have a choice as to how you respond to those negative situations. And I mean, it's an 9 hour race, and everything's not going to go perfect. So it's about how you deal with those
Adversity
imperfections.
This is our championship edition and our 2015 Ironman World Champion, Mr. Jan Frodeno. Round of applause from our studio audience. Wearing his foliage. Always good to be wearing foliage the day after the Ironman. What's it feel like?
Yeah, it's really great to have this crown, to have it on my head. You know, I've been watching the interviews. Obviously, last year I watched it, and I think Rennie walked out just ahead of me, and I'm like, I'd really like to be wearing one of those right now. And to be honest, it's still a little bit surreal. You know, it's been a crazy couple of weeks beforehand, and last night the whole thing hasn't really sunk in yet. So I'm just making sure I wear this and kind of hoping not to wake up from the stream just yet.
This is our championship edition and our 2015 Ironman World Champion, Daniela Ryf. So is it sunken in? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I still cannot really believe it that it happened. You know,
Yes.
it's still sinking in. Yes, it's been an incredible day yesterday, and I try to, like, there's like a movie, you know, it keeps playing and playing, and I'm like, yeah, I really did it. So it's a great feeling to actually, you know, show your best at the day where it really counts. Yeah.
Yes. In St. George, you had a great run, and it was interesting because you were behind there, and you had to catch Braden Curry.
But there was getting positive feedback, like every time after 10K and back again.
Yes, you
for
saw
that
him.
30K, then I got like positive feedback. But here we got like sometimes we were catching and sometimes we didn't catch at all.
Right.
And that's just messing up with
Drives you crazy.
mentally, and also I didn't feel like I had that last 10K within me that Gustav probably felt like he had, that he could just kick off and take 2 minutes within the last 10K. I had enough with the pace I was running in.
So when we chatted after St. George, I know a lot of the pros were pretty freaked out because you what you did was amazing, and you were like, the Kona course suits me way better than St. George. Now that you've raced the Kona course, do you feel that this course does suit you?
Yeah, I would say so. But also like Gustav didn't race St. George,
Right.
and Sam had a different strategy here, so he was holding back, or not holding back, but he had better run legs than he had in St. George.
Right.
So he was still 5 minutes in front in St. George, and here we had 6 minutes. So we could expect him to have like a weaker run if
Right.
you look at those two combined. So it's a new race, and people attack it in different ways. So, but of course, I do want to come back and show that I can win on this course.
We talked before the race, and we were talking about the mystique of the island. You're like, hey, it's a road and there's cars on it. Now you've done the race. You've been there at midnight. There's something special about this place. And you were there at midnight, and you were there seeing how people have changed their lives through this event. What are your impressions of this race and this island?
Yeah, so during the race, I felt like in control, but towards the end, I really like noticed that this is something special with Kona, and especially being like so silent on the Queen K running, and then you come into the Ali Drive with a massive amount of people. Everyone's just screaming at you, and I think it's a bit of the contrast that made it quite an emotional finish line.
Yes.
And especially noticed that around midnight when I came back there, just to see how all the stories like unfold there at the finish line. They've been struggling for, not 7 hours on 40 minutes, but more like 17 hours and 16 hours. So to see all the emotions come at the finish line and just be happy to finish, and that was really special.